Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are doing now part 2 of a two-part series.
That's right.
With our friend Gary Temple Bodley, who channels a group of non-physical entities that they call themselves Joshua. And so we want to welcome, I'm not sure who I'm welcoming right now. Am I welcoming Gary?
Yep,
yes.
Gary. It's always a tricky one.
We're welcoming Gary.
It's kind of a nice treat. I mean, we wanted to do 2 segments because 30 minutes goes really fast. And we have so much to talk about. But to actually even consider bringing Joshua in just for a taste for people to kind of see what that message is and hear that is really nice of you to do.
Yeah, because those of you who will resonate with it will hear it immediately.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you're, this is stuff that we were intending to discover. That's why we're all here.
Right.
We've discovered it. And if you're watching this, you're on the verge of discovering something that will be beneficial for you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, you know, when we first found Abraham, and I thought it was weird as could be. But then we said, well, we just started telling people, well, we get all of our information from dead people.
Yeah.
and it became normal to us. And of course, now understanding that we can all do this, it's a natural ability. It's just opening up to that and allowing it. And you've been able to do that. So should we bring in Joshua and have a little conversation?
It's not a religious thing either. You know, it's so much different than that.
Oh,
you know,
right,
I know that I have family and there's, you know, the concept of God and that separation. And there's a lot about this that can be really challenging for people sometimes to accept, you know, but it's not about that. It's just really tapping into the information and the wisdom and the guides and the spirit and all that's there to really bring truth and love forward.
Right.
And that's really as simply, you know, what it is.
So all humans are moving from fear to love.
Yeah.
Especially in this time. We're in 2020 right now.
Right.
So we're moving to this clarity. This is the year of vision and clarity. 2020, obviously, right? And we're moving from this clarity that we aren't flawed. We aren't anything less than magnificent. We are beings of love. The physical and the non-physical is not so separated. It's all here now. So how do we live the most effective life while we're here now?
While we're here now.
And it doesn't matter how you live life, because if you live in struggle and pain and fear your whole life, it's still beneficial.
You're still expanding.
And we're all experiencing pain, struggle, and difficulty. But once we've done that enough, now we can say, from the rest of my life, from this point forward, I'm going to pursue this life of love to discover who I truly am. And then all you do is get experiences like this.
Like this over and over and over again. It's wonderful.
Now, right. So you guys asked me on, and that's an inspired idea. And certainly it's fun, but there's a little trepidation. You know, will people like it? What will they think of me? Right. That's just a fear. But see, the idea of this conversation is aligned with who I really am. So this is part of my path of self-discovery. The fear and doubt is just old programming, old limiting beliefs. And I can push past that fear because nothing bad is going to happen.
Right, you're not going to die here. Joshua gives us that death is the only rational fear. Can you die?
Yeah. So no one's going to come with pitchforks and, you know, axes and
not today.
Burn me at the stake.
Right.
300-400 years ago, maybe.
Yes, right, of course.
They might come with, this guy is full of shit, but that's okay.
That's okay, right.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to change anyone's beliefs. I'm just saying, this is what I found. This is what a whole bunch of us have found.
Yeah.
This is where people get stuck in the generalization of law of attraction, and the secret was exciting, Abraham's exciting, but they're using an approach that doesn't work anymore. The new approach that Joshua brings through, which is at a higher level.
It is.
So those of you who are here, somehow you got here. Somehow you're watching this because you're ready for this next level.
Right.
And it's not to get the house and the car and the boats and the American bullshit stuff. Right, It's about how to feel good and then allow what you really want to come in. And what you really want is this connection.
Is the connection that you, with
to
other
be
people,
who you are.
relationships.
Say, I love you, I love you.
For us, it's been just enjoyment of life.
Pleasure.
Just enjoyment on a daily basis, hourly basis, really being able to enjoy everything that's happening and accept it. And, you know, that's like, so what do you do this work for? That's a big reason, you know, just to be able to really have great moments and have great days and just have great experience and not be worried and not be bound up, you know, with the conditional things.
And then you move step by step to realizing who you are, and each of us has our own unique talents and attributes that will not show up until we start doing these things, like having this TV show, right?
Right.
You have to get comfortable seeing yourself on camera, talking to people, not having notes. Today we had to have no notes.
Nope. I had fake notes.
And your obvious talent, beauty, shines through. Your intellect, your intelligence is coming from somewhere, right?
Right.
You're letting it come through, and then this is fun and pleasurable and interesting.
Right, exactly.
You know, and it's rewarding.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
Very good.
All right, so we'll go get Joshua. What that is I just do some deep breaths. I set my intentions, which is really important. So we're going to have an intention to have a lot of fun, ask whatever questions. They'll say something in the beginning. Then you guys will be inspired to ask a question.
Sure.
And we'll just take it from there. And then just let Joshua know when
the time is up. Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, has Joshua been on TV?
Well, podcasts and
things
like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Excellent.
All right. Here we go.
All right. Let's go.
We are thrilled to be here.
Welcome to our studio, Joshua.
Welcome to the studio, Joshua, and to that CBD show.
How does this perspective look?
What an amazing setup you have here.
Yes.
Now, why is this all set up like this? Isn't it just fun?
Is it only
Isn't it
for fun?
Something that you thought would be fun to do?
Yeah.
Something interesting, this whole creative dynamic that you have going here, where anything is possible. You can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Right.
You can be who you truly are in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything better than being who you truly are in the moment?
In the moment.
Well, what does that mean to be who you truly are in this moment? You have to be accepting of the moment, of everyone else, of what people might think, of how your hand gestures are, how you move around. Am I looking weird?
You just called me out. Yeah.
You know, am I having to control myself so people will like and love and respect me?
Mm-hmm.
Or can I be who I am, pushing past the fear and doubt that what other people think means something? If you can be that pure without controlling any aspect of yourself. Now, remember, you've had a whole life of controlling yourself. Every moment of every day, you're controlling yourself. Mm-hmm. You're trying to be something that you're not truly, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is fine. Mm-hmm. We're saying you've gotten to this place now where you can eke out the pleasure of knowing that you are limitless, that you are perfect as you are, that the illusion of flaws is simply an illusion, that who you truly are is Source itself, personified in this beautiful frame. And when you see yourself as Source, Source wouldn't care what other people thought. Source is eternal. Source wouldn't care about anything. Source would just do what Source is inspired to do. You're Source. Source is perfect. You're perfect. Source is not flawed. You're not flawed. Source is limitless. You're limitless, living this physical reality. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean you have to manufacture a mansion on the ocean to prove this. All you have to do is feel good. And if you can feel good in your skin as you are, accepting yourself perfectly, then you can accept everyone else perfectly as they are, without needing them to be different. And the reason you want them to be different is because you think you want some feedback from them that validates who you are.
Right.
They can only give you the feedback that you feel about yourself. Every person in your life is a perfect reflection to you. Mm-hmm. You attracted Gary and Tracy because now you're at the level where they can come in and you don't feel judged or threatened by these people who act more authentic.
Right.
You're becoming more authentic now, and then you're seeing these others in your life who are living in fear. Mm-hmm. You're not saying they're bad or wrong in any way. You're saying, I can just see that they're living in fear. That's all it is. Right. And you can choose a life of fear. It's expansive. You'll get wonderful things out of it. No one's living in total fear or total love. It's always a mixture of it. But when you feel negative emotion or fear, you know it's based in a limiting belief, and the limiting belief is never true. So now you can pinpoint the limiting beliefs through your emotions. The emotion of jealousy will always point to the limiting belief of loss or unworthiness. And so you can say, all right, I'm feeling a little jealous right now. I don't want to change my partner. I want him to be who he is. I want to absolutely accept him as he is. I may have an urge to say something, to build boundaries or rules.
Right.
But that's bandage on a big wound. You want to go inside and look at what that limiting belief is causing this fear. Oh, he might leave me. Oh, I'm not secure when he's acting this way. Oh, why is that? Oh, I need to protect myself. Well, now you say, no, I don't need to protect myself. I need to be who I am, and who I am is a being of love and acceptance. So if I evoke acceptance for him, for who he is, then I am being love. And then you're cultivating that feeling of love, and all he can do is reflect that feeling you have. He will actually change to another version of him that now reflects back that you feel, or not, or someone else will come in. It doesn't matter. But you're attached to all these different things in your life, and so when you think about where to move next, you're always thinking, how do I keep this here? I don't want to lose this. And so that fear of loss is pervasive, and it limits you from engaging the law of attraction, because the law of attraction says, we're going to bring you everything you truly want, and you're going to be blown away by how spectacular this is. But if you put a monkey wrench in it by saying, this has to be this way, and this has to be that way. It's like your daughter going to college. You say, I love her, and I want her to do well, and I want her to have experiences, but I don't want her to leave the house, because I don't want to lose that.
Don't want to lose that.
We'll say, well, you know, in your belief system, it's natural for a child to leave the house and go on and explore, and that's good, and that's a beneficial belief. And so you could say that with everything in your life. If the car gets totaled, who cares? If my worst fear comes, it'll be for me, not happening to me.
Okay.
If you can live life from this philosophy, then you're living in what? More alignment. And then in that alignment where you see everything is good, that nothing bad is happening, that nothing outside of me needs to be changed, I don't have to fix or help anyone. I'm here for the pleasurable experience of this. And if you can do that, guess what? You'll receive inspiration. And that inspiration will ask you to take some action. And that action will lead to a further exploration of who you truly are. And it'll always thrill you, always be exhilarating and satisfying and highly effective. So you're in a conversation with one of your clients. And so in that conversation, there could be some fear in there, some wobble. The fear is, what will they think of me? The fear is, I am attached to some outcome. I want them to sign a contract or to be happy with me or to refer me to others. I want to build this business. I have this attachment to what I think I want. And so in that conversation with the person now, you have two wobbles in there, two fears. You have the fear that the attachment, the thing you're attached to won't come true.
Won't happen.
And you have a fear of what they think about you. Now, if you pre-paved this conversation saying this is a spiritual conversation, I'm connected deeply to that person. I only want what's best for them. I only want them to go on their journey of self-discovery. I don't care about the outcome of this conversation because my abundance is my natural birthright, and it doesn't need to come from this source, it can come from any source. What I'm doing now is having a spiritual connection with this one person. They can't see me other than through their perception of reality, their lens, which you can't know what that is. So you can give up needing them to see you in any way. Because if you think you need to be seen as smart or intelligent or witty or whatever, or having all the answers, you'll dip down into a lower emotional state of being. You'll tap into that fear consciousness, and you'll bring up urges to change the conditions or steer the conversation. You see, so if you steer that conversation, well, you're doing it from an urge to control the conversation. If you simply receive thoughts for whatever they are, could be something having nothing to do with business. If you just receive the thoughts, like Gary's receiving these thoughts right now, and say those words, well, these words that are coming through exactly how we are saying them is for the highest good of both of you, of you, of anyone listening, and of anyone who will ever listen to this program. The inner workings are well beyond your capacity to understand. There's way more going on than you can imagine. And so there might be someone listening to this 10 years from now, but their inner self and their spiritual leaders and guides and supporters are bringing thought forward that will one day resonate with that person. And it's working with everyone else. And so if there's 1 million people listening to this, all the millions of entities surrounding those 1 million people are creating a dialogue that will work for them all. Every one of them. No one will be left out.
There's a lot of viewers that are seeing this for the first time and hearing your words for the first time. One of the bigger things I think for Chris and I that we got to was starting to really understand that everything is for us as a creator, and not just trying to figure out that it's for us, like truly understanding that all those things that are coming to us are for us. The message at the specific time, in the specific place, the specific interaction, to sort of just pull everything out of those moments and the gloriousness of it and expand in all those moments. And that's been, I think, for us, one of the bigger things that we've just sort of captured on a daily basis that
you've been talking about.
Yeah,
right?
that Joshua's brought through the boot camp, but you know, that's really impacted us, I guess.
You are either the creator of your reality
or a victim.
Or a victim in the sense that other things could happen to you.
Yeah.
So how you approach life determines the life you're going to live. If you're exploring victimhood by trying to control conditions, then the universe will bring you a lot of examples of how you're not safe, you're not secure, you're a victim, things are happening to you. If you're exploring who you are as a creator, that means that if something happens, you have to look at it differently. You have to see it from another perspective. And when you gain that perspective, you gain all the benefit of that experience. And you expand to a new level, and now you're ready for the next experience that will expand you to another level. Not that it's a better level, but it's more aligned with who you truly are. It'll be more satisfying, fun, and exciting, and exhilarating, and all that. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. And so now you may encounter some, what we call manifestation event, and you may, in the past, have said, that's wrong, that person's wrong, it should never have happened. And now you say, hold on, what's in here? Why is this happening? Why do I feel this? What's that limiting belief? I can do the work to process that limiting belief. I can see it from another perspective. And in the snap, you're back to feeling good. And back to feeling good, you're receptive to more inspiration. Not inspiration that's going to lead to what you think you want. Inspiration that's going to lead to what you truly want. So what do you truly want?
Right. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to get a little bit to that. For me, and I clearly know that what I truly want is to express my love and acceptance to me and to everyone else. And in that, there's great joy in that. When I first heard you speak, the clearest thing that came through in the first few minutes was accepting and exactly what's happening right now. Wasn't about creating a new future. It was about seeing everything right now as beautiful. And I mean, it was instantaneous for me. My life changed instantly. My perspective changed and my life changed. And I think that is one thing I'd like to hear you talk more about.
All we have is the moment. Any idea about the future is some sort of use of your imagination.
Okay.
Most of the time, you are focused on lack. And so as you imagine the future, you imagine the opposite of this. And nothing's wrong with that. However, if it doesn't seem like it's going where you want to go, because you don't know where it should go, you have no clue, if it doesn't seem like where you have this imaginary future, you will feel fear. And you'll dip back down into that stream of consciousness of lack. You'll pull up an urge and you'll try and fix some problem that is an illusion. It does not exist. Right. Now, if you start focusing on how great life is now, how abundant you are now, how much love you're expressing now, how perfect you are now, how perfect you were the day you were born, how perfect everyone else is, what they're going through is what they're going through. Good for them. You don't need to help anyone. You're just going to maintain your alignment and then get an idea. And that idea will sound crazy. And if you think it's your idea being manufactured in your head, you're going to say, Christy, that's a stupid idea. Don't even tell anyone about that. If you think it's direct communication from source, you're going to say, yes, I am here to do what I'm inspired to do. And you'll push past all the little fears and you'll do that thing in the moment, the one step. And then you'll take your imagination and you'll say, all right, if it turns out that way, great. If it turns out this way, great. I'm not attached to this imaginary outcome. Yeah. Because I don't know, from my limited perspective, what's going to make me the happiest. The universe knows. The universe knows.
Plus, the universe knows that the steps may go like this. It's not necessarily
from your perspective.
Yeah, right up the ladder. Sometimes you have to take a left and a right, and it makes a lot of sense, and we'll get you there faster if you just trust us. You
could be inspired. To go get coffee, but you have a whole house full of coffee, and you say, that's going to cost $3. I'm going to make coffee here. And the fear is, why would I go spend $3 and take a trip when I can just make it here? But who you could meet or the experience you could have on the way there. Maybe it's a car accident, and that car accident will be the best thing that ever happened to you. Maybe it's connecting with the girl behind the counter, maybe it's connecting with another customer, maybe it's overhearing a conversation that shifts your perspective just enough that you are led now to the next step. You see. But if you start succumbing to fear, and you don't even call it fear, you wouldn't call this normal decision, this is how I should do it because I could save money, right? That's just prudent.
Right.
We're saying, leave all that behind. That's just control. You got an idea, you act on that idea in the moment. And if you can act just on inspiration in every moment of your life, well, then you become a blended being with source, with your inner self, with your guides. And they're sending you, and you're receiving from other people and inspiration from something you may be inspired to watch and on TV and things like that. To have this show as inspiration, it's not the end result. Right. It's just a step in this progress, right? You're going to get more comfortable. You're going to get a vibrational match to the next thing. It'll snowball from there. It's this momentum of building a life of love and acceptance compared to the momentum that you've all been living up to now, which is the programming of fear and control. From many people's perspective, it seems like the more control we can get, the better we'll feel. And that's just an urge to change the condition. Now, you can see examples all over your country, all over the world, of people getting more control, more control, more control, and having a more difficult experience.
Right. And that's what kind of happens, because you have to sort of glue it all together, and it gets more hard to keep all the Legos in place. It's
well, they're efforting and struggling.
Jenga in life that you're just trying to keep it together.
Yes, they're efforting and struggling and not having fun, trying to make something happen that they think will make them happy, make them feel valued, make them feel worthy, make them feel loved.
I'm dying to ask you a question, and it's another concept that really got into me, was that there is no lack in the universe. There is only abundance. And so you see somebody on this exploration and it looks like they're without, or they're having hard times, or all these things, but really what they're exploring is an abundance of that exploration of what that would feel like to actually not have abundance.
You are an ascended master, because the thing you just said was the most brilliant thing that we've ever heard. You could be exploring lack, and you get an abundance of experiences that cause you to feel lack. You could be exploring financial wealth, and you could get an abundance of feelings that allow you to feel wealthy. Wherever you are in life. Where you are right now, you have a choice. Am I going to experience lack? Am I going to be frustrated and angry and unhappy and wanting things that I can't get so badly, and then effort and struggling my way? or I'm going to see how abundant I truly am now, and then explore how much more abundant I can be.
Yeah. And I think that's really been key for us.
I know there's a lot of things that come over from biblical side, but the fact is that there is only positive. There is only what is there. It's just what are you flowing that is there to you? Like to what degree are you flowing
and that's it.
What experience of abundance are you experiencing? And that's super powerful.
And just remember that you are all limited compared to Source that creates worlds and galaxies and stars. You're all living as this idea of an individual without that much power.
Yeah.
Who you truly are is the creator of it all.
Yeah.
And so all limitations self-imposed. You can remove the limitations step by step by pushing through that fear and addressing those limiting beliefs.
Thank you, Joshua.
Oh,
for coming to visit
that's
us today and coming through, Gary, and it's just always awesome.
It's always awesome. It's absolutely been life-changing for me from the minute that I started to hear your words in the first 5 or 10 minutes.
And we hope it's fun for you. We know you're not attached to outcomes, but at this personal level, to interact with you, it means a tremendous amount for us.
This is our joy. This is why we're thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
And we are not doing anything other than expressing our joy brought forth by your questions.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks, Joshua.
Honor.
And thank you, Gary. And thank you, everyone, for being with us today. We will see you. We'll see you next
CBD
time on that CBD show. Thanks, guys.
See you on the backside.
Bye.